This is Mark Schleusener, Illinois State Statistician for USDA NASS, and I have a recap of the 2023 growing season for corn in Illinois. April was generally dry across the Prairie State, and farmers were able to plant 40% of corn acres by the end of the month. That was 11 points ahead of normal planting pace on April 30. Dryness increased in May, and topsoil moisture was rated 14% very short, 28 short, 54 adequate, and 4% surplus on May 28. By that date, 95% of corn acres were planted compared to 82% normally. The condition of the Illinois corn crop was rated 7% very poor to poor, 24 fair, and 69% good to excellent at the end of May. Dryness spread across Illinois during June, and 89% of topsoil moisture was rated short or very short on June 25. The corn crop was just beginning to show silks at that time, and the condition of the crop was rated 27% very poor to poor, 47 fair, and just 26% good to excellent at the end of June. On June 30, NASS published the June acreage report and estimated Illinois corn plantings at 11.5 million acres. The U.S. acreage estimate for total corn planted acres was 94.1 million, and that was above industry expectations. Significant rainfall covered the Prairie State in late June and early July. Topsoil moisture supplies were estimated at 62% adequate and 6% surplus as of July 2. By the end of July, 95% of corn acres were silking, and 35% of acres had reached the dough stage. The condition of the crop was rated 19% very poor to poor, 32 fair, and 49% good to excellent on July 30. NASS published the first corn yield forecast for Illinois and the U.S. on August 11th. The Illinois corn yield was predicted to be 201 bushels per acre, and the U.S. yield was forecast at 175.1 using conditions as of August 1. At the end of August, the condition of the Illinois corn crop was estimated at 67% good to excellent, but a significant hot spell late in the month pushed that rating down to 57% good to excellent by September 3. Harvest pace was slower than average through September and only reached 23% finished by October 1. This was 2 percentage points behind the 5-year average of 25% finished. By the end of October, 81% of corn acres had been harvested, and that was 4 points ahead of normal pace. The September 1 corn yield forecast for Illinois was 198 bushels per acre, down 3 from August, followed by a forecast of 200 bushels per acre for October, and then 203 for the November yield forecast. The final corn yield estimate for the 2023 Illinois corn crop was published at 206 bushels per acre in the January 12 annual crop production report. The final U.S. corn yield estimate for last year was 177.3 bushels per acre, and that was a record high for the country. I would like to thank all the farmers that responded to the NASS acreage and yield surveys during 2023. Your individual responses are always confidential by law, but they help to tell the story of Illinois agriculture. And I would like to thank the NASDA enumerators that gathered much of the data used in NASS reports. This has been Mark Schleusener, Illinois State Statistician for USDA NASS in Springfield.